Boxing Truth here. Wanted to do a prediction video with Demetrius Andrade and Willie Nelson, since it's the most competitive fight on paper, at least, between the dueling cards of between Showtime and HBO, as many see Lomachenko's fight as a showcase with Martinez. Also, Verdejo's in with another no-name opponent that hopefully he'll look good in. And of course, Pravanica's fight with Molina is also considered a showcase. But this is boxing, and we still have to fight the fights, so let's see what happens. But I wanted to do a prediction vid on Demetrius Andrade and Willie Nelson, as Andrade's pretty much auditioning for what could be in a Showtime contract in the works for himself if he could put in a sensational performance tonight. All he has to do is look good, get a win tonight, and maybe he's on the verge of getting his own Showtime contract, as he's going to be taking on his most difficult opponent in quite some time. Now, Andrade, when you watch him fight, when it comes to the eye test, I'm more impressed with him than any other fighter in the 54-pound division. He shows more dimensions to his game compared to Erizlandi Lara. He's got more in the arsenal compared to other fighters currently in the division, who have belts in the division. Out of all the guys at 154, I believe Andrade has the most potential, but he still has to fight the fights, still has a lot to prove. And now, at the age of 28 years old, you look at his resume, it's lacking. He still hasn't fought some of the elite guys. Still a lot of guys he needs to fight in the division. And to this day, Vanes Martirosyan is still the best guy he's defeated in his career. Even though he was the first one to beat him, that's still the best win on his resume. So the resume is not very strong. He needs to start fighting some of the top guys in the 54 weight class. But now he's on his way. He's fighting a very solid opponent in Willie Nelson, who's very tall, junior middleweight, about 6'3". He's a solid fighter, comes in good condition, comes to fight. It'll be a good fight because of the styles. Andrade is not a boring fighter to watch. He likes to box in the pocket, doesn't do much running. He uses his skill set. He's a very tall, lanky guy. Southpaw style. He has a very difficult style to deal with because he keeps you on the outside with his jab. He's very lanky. However, he is susceptible to overhand rights. That's his weakness. But he's got good speed. He's got solid power. It's not devastating punching power, but his money punch is the straight left hand. He's got every punch in the book. He throws good left uppercuts, which is going to be a big weapon in the fight with Willie Nelson, as Nelson's pretty much a straight up and down fighter. Doesn't give you much angles. If he moves, he'll only circle the ring to the left, but he doesn't really provide a lot of angles or footwork or movement to his opponents. But Andrade, he pretty much leads off with the jab. He throws a very good 1-2, very straight, fast, accurate left hand that he can do damage with. That's his money punch. That's his power shot. He throws good left uppercuts to the body and the head. He needs to work on his right hook. Sometimes he slaps with it. Well, from his most recent fights that I've seen, he hasn't fought much. He's only had 2 fights since 2013. Only 1 fight in 2014, 1 fight in 2015 against a hand-picked opponent. And now he's going into the ring against the most solid opponent he's fought since Martirosyan. It's been a long time. And Nelson, he's coming off some momentum. 2 wins, his last 2 fights. He knocked out a prospect in Tony Harrison, who was a pretender, in my opinion, but he still knocked him out. And it was a competitive fight. He ended up using his experience Nelson did, and he was able to overcome and pretty much gas out Harrison, who hasn't been tested, had a very soft upbringing, very was matched very soft in his career before going into the fight with Nelson, and Nelson was able to prevail. So what can he do with Andrade? Andrade is a different animal, much more skilled, much better amateur pedigree, also a lot more seasoned, has a much more tougher upbringing compared to a Tony Harrison. And Andrade's also been a world champion, so it should be a good fight, action-wise. Nelson will come to bring it. He's a very tall, lanky guy. He could make for good fights. However, he's a little too flat-footed, doesn't provide enough angles, can be outboxed. He's also very open to punches up the middle, straight shots down the pipe. Also very susceptible to uppercuts up the middle, which is one of Andrade's best punches, his left uppercut. I see Andrade putting on a very good performance. He's going to need one tonight in order to entice the suits to sign him to a deal with the network that he's going to fight in Showtime. Also, the hope is for Andrade being on Showtime is that Heyman will allow some of his guys to fight Andrade, like the Charlo brothers, also Julian Williams and Arizlandi Lara, and that's the plan for Andrade. He wants to fulfill his goal in conquering the junior middleweight division, and then obviously set his sights on a Triple G fight. But that's gonna take quite a while to fulfill that goal, and collecting all the marbles in the 54-pound weight class. A lot of fights to be made, still a lot of guys to fight. And Willie Nelson is going to be the stepping stone in order to get those future fights. But I got Andrade tonight. I don't think he'll get a knockout. He'll win the fight clearly. He'll outbox Nelson. He'll land some good shots with his straight left and left uppercuts. Possible he can get a knockout because Andrade is a solid puncher with his left hand. He's just not a devastating puncher, but Nelson's a tough guy. He's never been stopped. He's been rocked multiple times, but he has heart, comes back, and he comes in good condition, comes in shape, and he looks ready to go. He thinks he could win, so it should be a very good fight for however long it lasts. I expect it to go the full 12, and I expect Andrade to get his most significant win in quite a while, and then go on to bigger and better things, as I believe he's right now unofficially the best junior middleweight in the world, but he has to prove it, and he has to fight the fights. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.